What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Summer Hikaru Died, this time with episode 8, I believe. Really good episode last week. Crazy kind of twist to the episode, which I didn't see coming at all, but it was almost like a bit of a prisoner's final meal in a way, just like one final nice time with Hikaru. Which way that meal would go, you could say both ways, honestly. Shiki's kind of last kind of divulging into this sin, you could say, and obviously for Hikaru, he would be the one that died. Shiki was ready to give up his life though, and yeah, it was just a really powerful end scene, wasn't it, with Shiki ultimately kind of being consumed by Hikaru, by his essence. Loved the music last episode as well. I thought that was fantastic. But yeah, do let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. Things have certainly changed now, haven't they? That defense mechanism, that survival instinct from Hikaru really was kind of shown to be nowhere near as harsh as it was initially. I think so. I think so. I think we can assume he is Nonuki-sama. There might be more to it. He might just be like a fragment of like this god or whatever. I think he is the whole of it, but yeah, who knows? Did see those two little things from that movie last week as well, didn't we? Thank you guys, as usual, for all the comments. Let me know what your guys' perspectives on some things were. I think there was a lot you could kind of interpret from last week's episode, and I heard loads of different things from loads of different people. I do go out of my way to kind of look at people's comments and stuff on the episodes as well, and yeah, caught some interesting things. I know that's like the reason I make my videos, is to like give another like opinion, but I'm also someone that really likes to hear multiple, especially in a show like this, hear multiple kind of viewpoints of things. I do think I'm quite good at kind of trying to look at other people's perspectives just from my point of view, but you can't always do that. I don't really. Just fall asleep. Yeah. Interesting. Do you know what? Big horror trope. I mean, he's not a crazy old man, but you always listen to the crazy old man, the crazy redneck, the scary man that's saying, like, warning you before you enter like some kind of summer camp or something. He's got a death curse. The old classic from Friday the 13th. I like that one a lot. The death curse guy. There's a few really good ones Friday the 13th. But yeah, probably a lot we can interpret from what he says here. Who is Inuki-san? Hichi-san. Who the hell's Hichi-san? A murder village. So yeah, I forget exactly. Like it's hard to keep up with all the details week in week out, but I think I was theorizing, as well as other people, that this could be like this whole place is like a ritual site. So I guess that would kind of just like this is like a murder village, literally. This is the village where people get murdered for like rituals and shit. It's been a while since we covered that though, so hopefully we'll have get back into that kind of stuff soon and kind of refresh my mind. But you guys know I love the kind of character development and relationship stuff, so I absolutely don't mind spending lots of time on that. Probably the most important thing for me in an anime, so hence why I like the show so much. Spiritual. Supernatural. Maybe she's fading out of the human world of hearing and more so kind of moving between dimensions of hearing. If that sounds crazy, I know, but yeah, perhaps her hearing's in like one's in the human world, one's in the spiritual realm. Have an open mind. Are you? Are you? You say that because you know it sounds crazy, but you don't feel that way. I think we all do that, don't we? So it's his influence that fucked up area. Okay. Doesn't sound great. And fuck the hell. That's a human being. What the fuck? Jesus. What was that about? In front of a school. And he was definitely like looking at Cheeky, wasn't he? Yeah, definitely. It seems like these incidents are really ramping up now, doesn't it? Wow. You are the fucker bringing them here, to be fair. Yeah. That is really disturbing, isn't it? I mean, at least it was like a primary school or like young children, but having someone do that right out front of your school, that would definitely be something that'd be like a school kind of legend in a bad way. Like yours. I mean, this place is supposedly cursed anyway, this whole village, but this school would certainly be cursed. And it's not healed. He did kind of give up half of himself, didn't he? Because the proposal last week, bless him. So yeah, not nearly as powerful as he once was. Arumaste. Oh crap, it is. Yeah, a neck. Wow. That is quite the hmm. And it's hard to keep up with these Japanese names of places, but I assume where they are is the head. It would just kind of make sense. They used black magic to stop. They used black magic to stop, and then they had to sacrifice one part, is where we are. Her mother, the old lady. Oh shit. Creepy little look. Get him. She doesn't know that he killed him, obviously. But that look right there was one of judgment. I think that was more so from Hikaru's perspective, though, wasn't it? Did she actually look like that? No, she's probably just looking at him normally. Are said to be the most powerful. The ones that live in the mountains. She wasn't crazy though, was she? And yeah, even so, rude. She wasn't crazy. Like I said, it's actually these type of people that speak most sense. That's the dude with the moustache we see in the opening, like looking left and right. Well, that was helpful, wasn't it? Oh shit. So Hikaru's dad left slash died. Every morning I remember Daddy's gone. And yeah, someone did point out to me in the comments a couple of episodes ago that they were compared to Shiki and his father, which we saw more of last week, didn't we? The whole of the Shiki family, to be honest, kind of moving on growing more relationships, growing new relationships. His dad seemingly having a more son and father relationship with another boy than his own son. Yeah, interesting. And I would suppose Hikaru, like Shiki, probably feels quite guilty hearing this. To be honest, the fact that he's got like a chance. I mean, it's not exactly Hikaru, but he's got like a chance of his dead friend kind of coming back, the one he loved the most. Where this woman will obviously never see her mother again, and obviously guilty at the fact that the fucking. I'm assuming this is the crazy old woman we're talking about. Again, the names are a bit of a myth for me, but probably even more guilty at the fact that the murderer is standing right next to him. So, yeah. But it's just like, also I'd be thinking in Shiki's position, like, damn, what if he was actually just like fully gone for good? He's right next to me, but he shouldn't be. And yeah. Yeah, that was quite helpful. That's very sorry to pause again, but very interesting. I do want to rewind back a bit here. Very interesting stuff from this whole place actually kind of being a human body. I'm not sure, like, there's probably something like spiritual or some kind of like myth that goes into this or something, but this is how you'd like cut up a dead person, right? You'd like cut off the head, their limbs, and then move them all kind of like separately. And it feels like this is maybe an attempt to kind of think of like a spirit as like I'm not sure this is right. I feel like it's actually probably quite wrong, but think of a spirit as like 100%, and you got like 20% of it is at the head. You got like 15% through the legs and the arms, and it's like split between all these places. But I actually think, judging from, again, this being called like the murder village and such, the majority of like whatever they were trying to split up is located where we are. I don't know. I'm not really like. There's definitely something to be like inferred and to understand from this, isn't there? There's definitely more to this, but I'm not exactly sure what, to be honest with you, at the minute. But it is a very strange. Like, art places don't just look like this, do they? I don't think, anyway. Like, yeah, you could look at one of these photos and it looks normal, but when you do put it all together, it does. It is a very weird shape of an island, isn't it? Very weird. You think like lots of this were like a road off and such, but yeah, interesting. Again, I assume that there might have like judging from Natsume Yujincho, I think I seen like spirits kind of go bad. I can't exactly remember what from. It's been a little while, but I've seen like yokai and such kind of turn from like worshipped gods into kind of ruined kind of gods and turn evil per se, for lack of a better word. So yeah, perhaps it was like this religion, and they like pray to the god, and then when that kind of that stuff happened in the 1700s, where loads of people died, they stopped praying and assumed because everyone was dying, there was no help from a god, so they ended up not praying and resented it, and then it turned into like a fallen god slash a now kind of like evil kind of yokai because of, and that's because of the humans kind of. It's not the yokai's fault, if that makes sense. It's because humans kind of change their perspectives on it and stuff. I was thinking maybe that they made like some kind of like dark deal with it to help them survive that kind of mass deaths, but I don't think that was probably not the case actually. But yeah, some interesting lore drop there. Like I said, probably quite a bit we can infer maybe later on in the story from a couple of things we saw today. Did I kill everyone? I don't think so. I don't think it was said like that. I don't know. He kind of felt like, again, the perspective we saw of her looking down on him like that kind of felt like he realised like at least a little bit of what he'd done. Hmm. Do you know that you've made this woman feel very maybe even like very similar to how I've been feeling from Shiki's perspective? Like it's almost disrespectful. The intense feelings I'm feeling as Shiki, you're disregarding from this woman that is feeling the same thing. It's been a little while since we caught up with these guys. Bullshit. Scarred. Oh, the hamster is acting up. If that is a hamster. You smell. You smell of trouble. Really? Sorry, guys. That's fine. What the hell is this about? That's not a rat, is it? Oh, it literally did. Oh, that actually happened. He is not. That's not a real hamster, is it? That actually happened. Those two getting the hamster up. Mm-mm. Strangely, yeah. This guy is a lot more. Got a lot more of a personality about him, but they oddly do actually feel quite similar. Oh shit. Yeah, they oddly do feel like as much as they almost look totally different as well, like sunglasses, blonde hair, stand out, black hair. Um, feels very compact, like not a lot of energy. Feels very in focused. They're almost like completely opposites, but they weirdly do actually feel similar. I'm not sure why that is. I can't believe that actually happened. I was thinking that like some kind of dream from the perspective of the hamster or something. I guess it's just that cute. So I do want to rewind a bit. And he obviously he stopped for a reason. Knows something's up with Shiki. As soon as the hamster reacted, like the hamster's been spot on at everything we've seen. So yeah, and he called it Ham Monster. So I think this is definitely. So maybe this hamster's like a mix as well. I did say very early on in the series that this is not a real hamster. This is not just a hamster. But the hamster's like okay with him. It's just odd. Almost makes me think maybe those scars are from maybe he had a similar situation to Shiki at some point in the past, and maybe those scars and like burns and stuff, maybe they aren't from the spells and things that he uses. Maybe they're from a past relationship he had with Nonoku-sama. That guy is absolutely spot on. But it's also quite funny with this guy. I don't know if he's like posed as a villain or a hero, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe it's neither, but sometimes he strikes me as like the really awesome side character hero. Sometimes he strikes me as the almost the not antagonist per se, but like the villain of this situation. He is the threat to Shiki. Status reports. Some kind of organization he works for deals with this shit. But yeah, so again, sometimes he strikes me as like a really likable guy that I should be rooting for, but he also strikes me as a guy that does put Shiki and Hikaru's relationship at risk, obviously, and is a big threat. So I get very dual tones from the guy. You've still got my insides. Oh, sorry guys, I feel like I've got something in my throat. Everybody just left. Same time. Was he trying to consume it there? Assume so. Obviously, he just hasn't got the power right now because he. Oh, nice sound effects. It's like that woman. She slapped another one up. How was she so good at slapping out these fucking demons? What's up with her palms, bro? Surprised it's not a flip flop. Not the classic rubber with a flip flop. It's just a straight hand. How's she able to do that? Crazy. Well, considering she taught her son well, didn't she? Or who I assume is her son. Like I did mention the key visual. Was it last week that we saw? And again, I'm also assuming that girl with the partial hearing in her ear now after Hikaru touched her. I'm assuming she's also her daughter. So they're all kind of spiritually kind of blessed in a way, aren't they? Sayonara. Yeah, good episode today. Again, I think it's a bit hard to fully comprehend this episode just because a lot of the stuff, especially, it's almost like those classic kind of segments in horror movies, which are not often that good, of like when the character goes to a library, they go on a computer, they search up news records of like an event that happened 50 years ago. It's very generic in that manner, isn't it? But I kind of like that. I find this quite charming. As you guys know, massive fan of horror, so I've seen that countless times. I think there is maybe I'm phrasing it nicely by putting it this way. Maybe other people would be a negative, but I do like that kind of. They stay kind of true to a lot of the cliches, like again the crazy old person that is talking absolute sense and knows everything, which everybody thinks is like a lunatic. Like they got that cliche, they got this one where again they go to like a library, they search things up, they find things out that you usually wouldn't be able to find out. In this case, this seems stuff that you would absolutely be able to kind of find out normally. But I think of the movie, is it Truth or Dare? That one is, and when they just look up stuff, and you're like, how the hell would you ever find anything related to that topic in this random ass library? You start thinking that a lot of the time. So I kind of like how those tropes are kind of put in here. It's a lot of really cool like horror tropes. Again, big fan of the genre, big fan of a lot of the kind of tropes. There's a few that I don't like the like crazy religious people and stuff, which isn't the case most of the time, but. Yeah, again, good episode. Again, it's hard to kind of fully make heads or tails of that stuff with, again, like the shape of the island and stuff. I think, again, you guys know my theory that it's very uneducated, but just the whole fact that this place is like almost like an altar of sorts, like the place where people get sacrificed. This is like where the bad things happen so that the other places can kind of live a normal life. They kind of focus the dark energy of sorts here, perhaps. We are seeing a very much an uptake in these spirits and entities and yokai things coming about, aren't we? Wasn't again? It's hard for me to comment on this because, like I said, I've just seen so many. I can't really say if this was like properly scary for people. It obviously didn't scare me, and it's just one of those things with anime. It's hard to like, how do you make this scary? I think the sound effects are really good. There was a lot of like awesome sound effects, especially when the neck was like. When he was like moving his head, I thought that was cool, but it's hard to kind of, especially in anime, I think, show something that would actually go, well, and like shock me. But I can say that about like 99% of horror movies and such, so I can't really actually give too much of a good perspective on that, to be honest with you guys. I might not be the best reactor to watch a horror anime. In that case, if you want to see someone like get jump scared or spooked or something. But in general, really good episode. Again, I like the little bit of focus we got on Hikaru's kind of feelings towards kind of like talking to the woman of the lady he killed. Interesting ongoings here as well. That was quite something with the hamster, wasn't it? Again, I thought that was some kind of like dream sequence or something. But yeah, he now knows about Shiki, so things will definitely be amping up with him and his character. That is something I definitely do want to focus on. Again, I love the character stuff with Shiki and Hikaru, but I definitely would like to focus a little bit more on the kind of blonde guy and the kind of old men kind of figure it out side of things. I think that'll shed a light upon quite a lot of stuff. Maybe that's why we haven't seen too much of it yet, but that is definitely something I want to see more of. But yeah, do let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys would like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll see you next week with episode 9.